Ready to be outdriven. I'm working my way to the top to doing this shit for a living. If you want that money, be double out. And if you want that trophy, take double out. And if you wanna be a winner, be double out. And if you wanna be a champ, take double out. Be double out, take double out. Be double out.
What's up, everybody? We are back at the BE00TAKE00 show. It's been a long 2 weeks. I am your host, PJ North, with the better co-host, Tyler Fluff Bohannon. Tebow, what's up, baby?
Oh, God. It's back to work.
Back to work, and we are back
I got
on the...
sick.
When?
I got sick last week, too. Yeah, I don't know. Look at this thing. I got a sore on my nose right now.
Oh, man, you're really struggling.
Yeah, I'm dying. But I did the stash. Oh, my God.
Kind of looks like a young Tim Richmond right now. My
God,
God.
I can curve the ends on this thing, too.
Oh, God, it's getting worse and worse.
Yep.
Well, thank you guys for joining us here live on YouTube. If you're listening on YouTube and watching live with us, let us know in the chat. Shout out to Jason Grimes. He's already done it. Hit that like and subscribe button. Helps us out, as always. If you're listening on iTunes or Spotify, don't forget to leave us a review. If you're on Spotify too, man, it's got the video, so leave us a comment. Let us know that what your thoughts are on what we're talking about. We'd love to hear them. Unless they're negative, then you can share those directly with Josh Decker. He is head of complaint department this week. We'll see how it's going.
We were talking before we started this about the book that I got from Dad.
Yeah.
And there was so my dad got me. They've moved, right? So this week they're moving, and he brings me this like container full of stuff.
We should preface with he's moving up the street to his other house, to his child which is next door to Tyler.
50 feet from me, and
they share a pool.
Yeah, we might have to put another quarter mile between us, I think. But like the internet, okay? So, like, I don't know, everything's on the internet now. I want a hardback book.
Yeah, same.
About the
Show
fast lane. Like,
yeah.
Look at that.
He's got it. Oh man, is that Kalita?
That's
blown
it,
up?
right?
Yeah.
Doug Herbert.
Yeah, sorry, Doug
Yep.
Herbert. Pretty
It's
cool.
like the legend. That was like on a video game cover and shit.
Pretty cool to see. Is there a bunch of great pictures in there?
Yeah, like I was just looking through it before we started. I mean, Tony Schumacher. You remember like the late '90s when the Top Fuel cars were doing big ass wheelies?
Yeah, They were trying to control them.
Yeah, they were trying to control it like that. It didn't work. Tony Schumacher's like rookie. He's not rookie, but he's like a couple years in, beating the shit out of everybody.
Yeah, they were. Man, remember when he won like so many in a row? And then like I used to hate Jimmy Johnson for winning so many in a row. I hated also. I wasn't a Schumacher guy either. I was like, this is trash. Why is this guy winning all the time? This is bullshit.
You know what? It does have 50 years of speed records.
50 years. So it's 25 years ago. Think about that. That book came out in 2001.
Yeah, so 2001, your speed record for Pro Stock bike was 190. Pro Stock was 200. Like Warren's 97 200 lap hung until now.
That's pretty
330.
crazy.
They were already going 330 in Top Fuel though.
Yeah, man.
But we shortened the track up.
Do you ever think that we should go back to the quarter mile and then lower some of the horsepower
Could you
rules?
imagine? No, I mean, that's like the excitement about it, right? I mean, you strap into a bomb.
I'll be honest with you. Yeah, you're
in.
strapping to a. That's the thing is, it's not exciting for me as much. I get it, but it's not like my favorite thing all the time. I'm like, I kind of wish they'd have to go the quarter mile, and I wish they'd put like some limitations on it. Because like people are still getting hurt now, like you said, because you're strapped to a bomb.
That's what we should do a pro stock.
Yeah,
not Top Fuel. You can't limit those things.
Yeah,
and I think the problem is right, like NASCAR running horsepower packages.
Yeah,
like they have a lot of changes, right?
Yeah,
but they don't have that is a safety hazard to drop horsepower on things.
Yeah,
okay,
I agree. Yeah, kind of need to let them eat.
Yeah, like if you don't, the fuel mixtures and shit, like they are bombs.
Yeah, Logan, I agree. Most of the drivers don't want to go back to quarter mile. I get that too. I think
you're talking about almost like at this point. What do you think they gained? They gained 50 miles an hour, I think. No, they're gaining 30 to 40 miles an hour between the 8th and the 1,000. Okay, that's 300 feet. They're getting 40 miles an hour. Just say they get half of that. Okay, they're gonna get another one. That's over 350 miles an hour. In a fiberglass body thing. No.
Yeah, man, I don't. That's a good way to put it. I'm glad that we got into side discussion here first too, because, so many things, right, that we don't obviously have like detailed
Safety and
notes
internet.
talking about, and this whole thing kind of came up was interesting. I don't know, man. Shout out to the other viewers, by the way, joining us. Eric, Austin, Logan, Quicker Than You. What's up, man? Thanks for joining us. Yeah, we got, while we're on the side note of things, how was this weekend at US 60, first weekend of the year? How you feeling?
Awesome. Chris had a wedding to go to. So Saturday, like, I don't know.
They just let Tyler run
Right.
rampant
Bad
at
idea.
US 60.
You know, like even TV promotions, like I've never had free reign.
Sure,
okay.
sure.
And especially now, like with Jeb and Derek and you and Pointer, like the whole team, I feel like I'm useless, you know. And so like when Chris leaves, I get to run the show. Okay. Like,
you love to see it.
Free reign. Okay. I call him and let him know if I piss somebody off or if we need to pay somebody. But these bike guys that came in, the show was great. Like Friday, we fought it. Okay. I had we put all kinds of new lights up at the track.
Sure.
We've never raced in April. Next thing I know, I got shine back issues. Okay. Sunlight's coming in. I've got by myself, rollouts all jacked up because of the sun blowing in. So I'm spun out. And
early
so
and often.
Lose the show Friday night. Yeah. Saturday though, like I said, he came in for a couple hours and he leaves. But I figured out, I called Rusty at AccuTime and he's like, put 2 2x4s out there.
Yeah.
Like, do what? He's like, take a 2x4 and put it like right against like where your bare concrete starts your lane. Like, okay. And it forced the sensor to look up instead of down at whatever it was trying to find.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, it was stupid smart. And
that's cool.
Honestly, I don't know why we don't just do that all the time, the more that I've thought about it. But anyways.
Yeah.
So I had 2 2x4s out there, but all day Saturday, the track was freaking great. And these guys, I think it's Southeast Drag Bike Association. It's either Southern Drag Bike. It's SDBA.
Okay. Yeah, gotcha.
Sonny Vic. And like, I don't know. I grew up in Louisville. We had a large motorcycle group, you know, that raced at Ohio Valley and all these places. But I mean, it was a different group of guys. These guys were awesome. I mean, like even the guys from Louisville that came down, we got some badass bike racers. So I had like some hometown guys to root for.
Sure.
Terry let me down. Bad.
Damn it, Terry.
But it was really cool, and a lot of those guys were cool. Like super happy about the track, and everything went really good.
Awesome, man. I love to hear that. That's always a good thing. First week in the year, a lot of tracks are getting that way, especially with all the flooding that happened in Kentucky too, and Ohio Valley turned into a boat track, which Terry might be into that. Terry might be like, hey, I don't have to prep this thing. Y'all just take a boat down through there. That might be interesting.
I got to turn nothing on. Y'all just have at
it. Yeah, man. Interesting. Obviously, it was at the Verge race. We'll get into that. Shout out to Joe Ballard, who's here. Joe, I don't know if we're on speaking terms right now, man. You didn't make it down to Georgia.
Wasn't.
You better have your motor better be in pieces on the floor at the shop for the reason you wasn't there. But we'll get into it. Let's get into the headlines, man. Obviously, we have a lot to talk about since we missed last week due to the power outage. It's been crazy. Tennessee got crazy weather for 4 days and knocked out my Wi-Fi. Let me tell you how boring life is in the sense of like you don't realize how much entertainment you take from things until you don't have that availability. Me and Casey, I mean, I looked through like 6,000 wedding ties because I'm interested for myself, but I'm looking at them on my phone because my computer won't hook up to my hotspot. So I'm like, I'm in a tough spot, right? So I was like looking through ties on my phone. I was like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. We couldn't watch YouTube. We couldn't watch ours. It was terrible from that perspective. But then we did.
How long did this go on?
5 days. I was without Wi-Fi for 5 days. Yeah. So we had the tornado came through 2 weeks ago on like Wednesday, and like nothing happened. Then Saturday it came out of nowhere in like 5 minutes, and it flooded the basement. We have our basement, the basement apartment in the house is like, it'll come through this door, but we have a grate that's over there that blocks most of it. So we haven't had it flood at all recently. Well, the wind must have taken the grate up and it flooded. Dude, there's like 8 inches of water at the door in our basement. I was like, oh, shit. So I had to go outside and fix that so the water would go down because I can't open the door to get it. So I had to go upstairs, do the whole thing. Well, then we went back upstairs.
You're
but
like underwater fixing this thing at this point?
No, because it's like steps to go down. You know what I mean? So I'm like standing on the steps with a broom, holding the grate over there so that the water can drain into the actual drain. It was crazy. But then we go back upstairs and we're like, oh, well, the power's out, obviously. And then I finally look, and our next door neighbor's tree is in the street, and it has wiped down all the power cords. It's taken out ours. It's taken out the neighbors. So we're without power. It was just crazy. But luckily no damage was happened. So we're all good. But we're back this week, obviously, to talk about it. So first thing we want to talk about, because I was on it last week about the Spring Fling Vegas Million.
Yeah. What were you? Yeah.
First off, shout out to the winners. My man CG, Corey Galitti. I told him, you can't win two if you don't start with the first. And he got it done in the dragster race, and then proceeded to sell a dragster the next day. So really good for him. He had a pretty good lick out there. And then Gage Birch.
Pay for the Chevy too that Hunter's finishing.
Oh yeah, well he's got to pay for it somehow, right?
Yeah, that's $1 million Chevy too.
Gage Birch got a win. Justin Hoff, I saw that was a emotional win. That was really cool to see them in the Vandermeers and that whole family-oriented thing there. And then obviously the big money guy, Cooper Chun, the young gunner.
He's rolling.
My favorite part of the whole thing was, and I think Ty Gaynor shared it on Instagram, I saw it, the story, is like all of these kids in this limo, right? And I'm like, can't none of them go to Peter's got them a hotel ticket. Can't even go to the casino. Can't none of them gamble. I was like, damn, this is hilarious.
The age of the winners for the weekend?
What was the average, like 24?
They were 21, 23, and 25, I think is what it was.
Yeah, wow. Think about that, dude.
I'm older than every person that won it.
I've aged out. I've aged out. Holy shit! Time
what is
has
the
passed
age
me
where
by.
Officially say I'm not with those. Like I'm not the kids.
I mean, according to Wes Buck, it's 30. I mean, I think we set
30?
that bar at 30. You know, it's kind of very similar to like athletes and stuff like that. When you hit 30, there's obviously a degradation. I mean, some people don't see that. Like, obviously, racers still, but like from a kid perspective at 30, it's like, all right, man, he's no longer not as young as he used to be.
Better get his shit together.
Yeah, man. You think about that. I'm 36 years old. I've aged out. I'm strong. I'm just talking about my good old days. But yeah, man, shout out to those guys getting it done. And obviously, I watched the race. They do a great job. Coverage was good. The announcers were good. I heard Justin Lamb's dad step into the announcer's booth, which I thought was interesting because we don't get to hear him very often. He's now bought a stocker. My guy is retired, living and hanging out in Lake Tahoe all the time. He's on vacation every other week, and now he's bought a stocker. And I'm like, the last thing we need is another Lamb out here in stock and super stock. I'm like, I'm sure Chris. Yeah, I bet it's an A car. I think. I bet it's gonna be fast as shit. It's a fire. It's like Firebird.
Oh, is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
he's up. Chris has called me 3 times since we've been on here. I wonder how that's gonna go.
Oh no, he'll get over it. Sorry, Chris. We'll call you back. But yeah, obviously, like I said, the Spring Fling Vegas was really cool. And shout out to the winners.
He did go on 5-0s. Like I don't know, right? He was going like low 5-0s in Vegas.
Who?
Cooper Chun.
Oh yeah. He was in his. I thought it was his super comp car. Is that not what that was? He was driving.
Yeah. But it was just like it's not the easiest to win going 5-0s.
Oh no, 1,000. That's what I'm saying. I didn't realize that's what I did. I didn't really pay attention. I didn't look at the run numbers. I was just kind of like in and out, and I saw it obviously the next morning that he had won. Damn, 5-0s. That is really hard because you're the slowest dragster by far. You're constantly getting chased,
like
right?
There, you're probably not, but yeah, you're getting chased all the time. I mean, I went 5-0s. It's kind of hard, not because of getting chased. You're just, it's almost like you're not slow enough.
Right.
Troy Williams calls it pants down in the way. So you have to work really hard, to just make a good run.
Doubly as hard to do it.
You've got to make the race look weird every time, but still make a good run somehow.
That's incredible. Yeah, I thought it was very interesting when you mentioned the age thing because all of them are in different kind of styles of that group too. Like you're saying, Cooper's obviously a slower car. Gage, he did it in a door car, so like, right? Like, okay, wow, all right. Justin did it in a 480 drive, yeah, and then Corey.
I don't know.
Corey out there, I think, still going 460, right? Even out there.
He was going 40s, yeah.
Yeah,
I think.
Jeez, so fast. So definitely an interesting turn there, but the young guns taking over, as they say out there. But I think the big thing from Spring Fling Vegas is the staging duel.
I did read into that a little bit.
Obviously, 00 Shit Show posted it. When you run out of fuel or whatever the saying was, it was pretty funny, which I think is hilarious.
I don't care if you run out of fuel, blow up, hit the wall. If you have a staging duel and you're gonna take up time, and you're gonna look like a jackass, like if you win, it don't matter. If you lose, you're still the idiot.
Yeah,
you gotta win.
I think my thing is like from a staging duel perspective, I'm cool with it. Like whatever y'all are gonna do, what y'all are gonna do, I don't give a shit. It doesn't matter. It has no impact on me to a certain extent. It does in the sense of like I'm waiting, but like whatever it is, what it is. My thing is like if you're gonna do it,
untold stories of all time, but I did lose. Yeah. Anyways.
And a staging duel.
Oh yeah.
Well, you could tell. You could tell that. Man. So that's what. Okay. So there's a perfect. When this happens, 00 Shit Show posts it. Everybody's commenting on it, and I think everybody's having a good time with it. And I think that's the thing, right? It's like at this point, it's already happened. It's a funny moment, but if you're gonna comment on every single person's comment about it, then obviously you're not secure in what you're doing. If you can't handle being made fun of for running, you still on the right. So if you can't handle that, like,
oh, I see. Okay,
you see what I'm saying? Like, if you can't handle that, and you have to comment on every single person's thing,
probably should just stage. Yeah.
Then you should probably put it in the beams.
Yeah, 00 Shit Show's been a thing for a while now. Like, if you're not okay with being on it, you better not put.
Bro, I'm surprised I did. I mean, I would. Obviously,
first off, I would have said the fucking motor was broke. If I was worried about getting made fun of, definitely don't tell them I ran out of gas, dumbass.
She's like, oh man, I dropped the lifter there.
Yeah.
Well, you brought it back up next round. Well, we got it fixed.
I fixed it. Yeah. I would have taken a rocker off and just dialed it for some cylinders.
So I think that's my thing with the whole deal. Like I said, like if you're gonna do it, whatever. I don't care. It is what it is. It's an interesting thing, but I just don't think that a lot of people who act tough can really handle that fire. I promise you, man. It's not for everybody.
That's why I'm on here talking shit, because I ain't about it. I'm just gonna stage, dog.
But that's what I'm saying is like I can, in the sense of like if you're gonna talk, they're gonna talk shit about me regardless. So it is what it is. I really don't
care. But that's the thing. I see this, right? Like you see how old people just get to the point they don't give a fuck, right? That's me, but already, okay? Yeah. Like, I'm just to the point, like, y'all gonna say what you gotta say.
Right.
So I'm just gonna do whatever you say I'm doing.
That's where I'm at the point of, like, so I just felt bad in the sense of, like, it really kind of ruined a funny moment, in my opinion. Like, it happened. It sucks for the other guy.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
It is what it is. But then I'm like, for this, and I don't know the family. Obviously, I've seen them at races, and I don't know them personally or anything. I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna do it, cool. But you can't be mad when people talk about it. It's it can't be situational. You can't have your cake and eat it too, as they say, right? So, that was my big takeaway from the race. And I was, it's just like, what are we doing here? Now, obviously, staging duel thing is, I saw a couple people who were like, why are we wasting time? I'm in agreement. I think the thing is like you get so caught up, certain people who do this, right? Who are like in that stage, like I'm staging second, that person's going to stage first. I'm like, you've already that person has had an impact on your racing here at this point. For me, I'm gonna just do my thing. It is what it is.
See, yeah.
But I'm not that guy. But you obviously have been in certain situations. So, what is your outlook on
that? My outlook is this racing's hard. You find any advantage you can, and include staging. So I'm gonna look to get in your head. I don't care if I light it first or second. But if I think you don't want me to light it second, then we can sit there. If I think you want me to light it. If I think you want to stage first, I'm going to try to do that first.
What point is it egregious, though, to you? What point are you impacting your
Well, see, that's me. Like me,
point?
I'm just going to get, I'll go 30 seconds maybe. I don't know. I can't count. I can't draw a straight line.
Yeah.
So, I'm just going to make sure, I'm going to make you look at me. I'm going to make you think that I'm fucking with you, something.
Okay, that's fair.
The ones that, I hate the people who have made rules against turning the wheel. Because what you can do by turning the wheel is, I want them as a promoter. I want them to turn the wheel, right? Because once they turn the wheel, 10 seconds, somebody going down the racetrack.
Yeah, that's the auto starts then on.
Right, and the one specific one I remember was Hunter and Bart, because that was a whole deal. But if I run what Hunter did was is he pre-staged and he just turned the wheel and turned it on and turned it off and waited for as soon as part pre-stage, he turned it back on.
Right.
And turned it off, right?
Yep.
We ain't playing this game. We ain't doing this.
Right.
10 seconds, we're going on the racetrack.
Yep.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, I mean then now you're in your advantage. Now the ball's in your court, and you've already rushed the other guy, right? Like that.
Like
point.
at 10 seconds, nobody should be. I'm not buying into the rush bullshit. Okay.
Yeah.
Like 10 seconds, we're both going to stage.
Sure.
That's great. Okay. Like Hunter's, like we're both pre-staged, but the timer started.
Yeah.
Right. You can still stage last. I don't give a shit.
Sure.
But I'm going to get it in, and you got the rest of it.
Sure.
You know, and I just that's part of that thing. Like you can't be mad at that. You know, you still got 10 seconds to stage.
Yeah.
You just don't like that you were forced to do it.
Yeah, I think that there's so many, like racing is so individualized, right? That everyone's like, I can't believe that person did that to me, or this, that, and the other. And I'd agree with that too. I think that that's like, you know, Jason's.
I'm not into sitting there. I can't sit there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have it. I don't have it in me, dog.
Stay.
I'm ready. Look, I'm a first pair out guy. Let's go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Jason,
and I've seen Jason do it. And actually, Jason, like Ezo was turning the wheel.
Yeah.
Okay?
Sure.
And Ohio Valley has a rule that you can't back into pre-stage.
Okay.
So they started they put in a new system or something, and they decided that they were going to Terry wanted, it was like the quickest setting you could run the tree. Okay? This thing was like
4 seconds.
you flickered it on and it was on. Bam. Okay.
Stage lock is on.
Yeah. Like ding, bam, first bulb's on. Whoa. Well, coming back into pre-stage, but if I turned the wheel, I never went in reverse. And I tried it on a couple guys and got way confused. And Jason never moved. Jason like understood, you know, because you basically you couldn't pre-stage in a reverse motion.
Sure.
You had to do it in a forward motion, which I was doing.
Yeah.
Never went reverse. But I just did it so I could be like one bump away.
I will
So
say,
as soon as I pre-stage, I could just stage. So when the tree was fired, I was ready.
To Jason's point here in the comments, it says, you know, you will not do it if I'm running the line, which he's the starter at a lot of that. We've been there a ton.
There's both ways, right?
He says, I'll back you off and call y'all back up, you know, when I want to. I would 100% agree with that. I'm here to tell you that there ain't a single cowboy at these big money races going to back anybody off.
Well,
Derek,
and I think that
Derek might be close.
Derek is close.
But like real talk.
And I let Derek run that too.
That's
like
it's his discretion how y'all want to, and it's, you know, and I think there's the good thing is that he's non-biased. It doesn't matter if he doesn't like you. It doesn't matter if he loves you. I could be up there against the worst person that he doesn't like, and it's still going to be the same. Like that's we have an unbiased person.
Now, when he backs me up, it might be a different conversation with me than it is Joe Bob, because he might come over to me and say, "Hey, you dipshit!
We're trying to race, right? Exactly." And so I get that 1,000%. And so that's the good thing. And I think a lot of those starters, like Jason's, very similar as well. But I don't know that there is a starter out there who's going to take, especially at big money races, who's going to go out there and make that call.
No, there's not. Like even me and Brian, like, we usually and I don't. Jason did most of our first events.
Yeah, the first couple, right?
Yeah, and you know, me and Brian kind of had a thing where it was like, let's stay out of it, right?
Sure.
But also we told the starter like, hey, you've got to take this initiative, because we didn't have a Derek, and at first we had Jason, and then in the middle we kind of had whoever they had.
Right.
And it's like, hey, I don't want you to jump in. You know, and like,
sure,
you know, your whole deal. I said, but when you feel like it, it's kind of, you know, you take that reign, but do not do it. You know, I don't want you to jump.
I agree. And I think that that's kind of the thing, like I said, came out of it. And I'd be interested to hear other folks' opinions on it as well. Let us know in the comments thoughts on the stage. Again, and it's not a crime against humanity, and everybody will be fine.
Right.
I just interested. Everybody has everybody has a differing opinion about it. So always interested. NHRA continued into Vegas, and Cooper Chun did Cooper Chun things. Runners up, but how about our boy Chris Whitfield? I've been trying to get him on that top 25. I was like, man, I know Whitfield's that guy. I can feel it, and he gets it done in Vegas, in Super Comp. Interesting enough, but yeah, Cooper goes from bracket race to Super Comp mode, and then decides to nearly pull that back to back, which I don't know if that's been done. You win. I think Luke might have been close. I think he runnered up as well, right?
He would have been the only one to try.
Right. So
maybe Fletcher won in his car that year. I remember Fletcher won in Justice's car one year.
Okay. And won the million?
No, but like Luke won the million.
And then the same car. Okay, got it. Gotcha. Yeah, so that's an interesting thing too. I thought that was really impressive. I just don't think. Understanding that, obviously when I was 21 I probably felt like I could do that too. I'm like, I can do anything, whatever, you know what I mean? Now I would definitely be like, obviously lesser odds, right? You know what I mean? It's like the Kyle Larson Indy 500 to the NASCAR track. You're talking about two different things. It's not the same deal. Whether y'all can say it's the same, whatever you want, I'm here to tell you it's not. It's two different types of racing. Okay. So I thought that was impressive. I thought Vegas NHRA right now obviously is in the heat of things, right? They go to.
I just don't like the 4-wide thing. I can't watch it.
Yeah, I'm out on the 4-wide too. But Tony Stewart
It's
got his
cool
first.
for
Do you
somebody
think
like
Tony
that.
Stewart could have won soon? Like if they didn't have 4-wide, do you think he would have had the same luck?
I do. I feel like well, I mean, obviously there's a different pattern. I mean, you can just do the math. You know, you can go through there and figure it out.
Obviously, right? Yeah.
But yes, I do. I mean, he's going to win. He's got the right shit. He
Yep.
can drive anything that has, a steering wheel in it, and it is what it is. But what I did look. Hey, look at me. Okay, I do have a stat. Did the Elite have one car in round 2? I think Quadra had one entry.
Oh yeah, I guess that does count. I forgot. Yeah, I keep forgetting. Yeah,
That's it.
that's a tough. They're having a hard time. Right? And speaking of,
It's cool to see though. Hold on. This is NASCAR, right? Like,
Yeah.
right now, you could go through the year, and somebody's going to be up here and somebody's going to be down
Yep.
here, and then they swap, and it's like you haven't seen that in a little while, right? Like for me, and then I learned it with Top Fuel stuff. Like Foley told me, everybody got the same shit. It's just making it work.
yeah,
And Coletta will find it for a while and make a lot of good runs, and it kind of switches. And it's cool to just see that, again, right? Like when we first went to EFI, Elite was a 10th behind, and then they made it
they
up.
figured it out, buddy. By God,
They started beating the shit out of them, and now they swung back and they suck. It is what it is. They just do, and I think they've got all the tools, and the drivers are the best. I still think they got the best drivers.
agreed.
So it's going to come back, and they'll make a few changes and be there.
As we talk about the internet thing with the staging duel stuff and people talking about, I think I saw a lot. I saw Erica posted a thing, and she kind of took screenshots of everything. I think she's probably one of those, maybe the only driver in pro stock who takes it very, very personally.
Which is cool in a sense. Like the way that she does it though is cool but there is some that take it personal, and we just talked about it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, and I think, that's my thing. Is like, I'm interested to see, and I almost wanted to ask them. I'd love to have a conversation and get her opinion of like why she, because again, this is not like why is she doing this, but like why and mental, or like her personality wise or mentally, or what makes her want to do that. See, with me, I always do that. Well, see, with me, I always comments I would just comment something funny back. I would always be like, if someone put like, we used to get a lot of jokes on music, the video stuff. They'd be like, this dude's whatever, and I'd just comment back, hey man, appreciate that 0.004 of a cent for you listening, because you commenting means you at least listen to that much of it, so I appreciate it. Like for me, I just don't. It's not my. It is what it is. And so
for her, you have a very good approach to that anyways, right? Like music is something that you are passionate about.
Yeah.
I see it like, she has spent, I mean, she's there now, right? Like what she should do
1,000%.
Eat one. But
every picture I would just put up, I would do the Tom Brady thing. I would throw my hand up, put this other finger out, and say, this is 6. I would post nothing else. I would just post memes of me with 6 fingers with rings on. Like that's me. But I don't.
It's like she still can't. No matter how successful you get, you can't get past the passionate part of how much you've done.
Maybe, and that's what it is, a passion thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I know you've never gotten you just fuck them, right? Like you never really.
I've always been that way, and that's obviously that's also like a little bit of braggadocious / like. I don't know if it's almost like I've always been called brash. I know that. Like it's not lost on me. I'm not for everybody. And so I feel like she's taking it personally right now, especially more. But people do say the dumbest stuff. Like I'd love to see these comments, and I want to just be like, bruh, in what world do you think that you're why are you, first off, why are you commenting on it so negatively? Like, why are you so passionate about your hate for something? It's baffling to me. And that part gets me every time because I'm like, damn, you got to have pretty low self-esteem to have to go on the internet and comment on someone else's struggles and be like, you stupid idiot, you so. It's like, damn, bro, like, how bad is your life? Like, damn, that person had to get up and go to some shit job where their boss hates them, their wife can't stand them, their kids aren't even sure that they're theirs. It's bad, I get it, but I was just like, damn, I felt bad, and I would love to have that conversation to be like, tell us what your thoughts are on why you would do that. So I'm glad that you had some insight in it because, like I said, I try to see all sides and understand why. Also, no one deserves that kind of like, not no one, but not her, especially no one.
Hard.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it is not easy. Look, I don't like LeBron James. I'm not a LeBron James guy, right?
Me
but I'm not
either.
out here saying like he's the shit. Like, that's not my. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like,
yeah, he's talented as
he's still got
but
3
like,
championships.
I don't like him.
Right? It's like, but I'm not going on the internet commenting on there like I'm Skip Bayless every fucking day. You know what I mean? I don't know. It was weird. But anyways, that was Vegas. On to the next thing, Verge Quick Outlaw series. I'm here to tell you, we went to South Georgia. Now I'll take because Tyler couldn't join us because he had to work. But we had a time at South Georgia. Great facility, awesome racing. We only ran into one issue with the glow back, right, or with the shine back or whatever. Yeah, which is and we got it narrowed down and immediately rectified or whatever. But they also had True Start on, which threw me off because I wasn't paying attention. So like. That was throwing me off too, throwing me for a loop because the tree does crazy things with True Start on. It'll show you weird shit.
I hate it. I hate it all.
Yeah, it was a lot going on.
Yeah, I hate it all. I don't know why.
So that was crazy. But I will say, I want to just call this out. The junior dragster parents this weekend were incredible. They were great.
Okay, I was scared. He was texting me before he left, and he's like, first junior parent that says something, I'm popping off. I'm losing my shit. Okay, full blown, losing it. And I'm like, I'm in. Go for it, dog.
I said,
I was poking it.
One gets squirrely with me, I'm throwing them. I'm chucking them out, and their kids gonna have to start the car back at the trailer, and they better hope their parents up there. You know what I mean? But nah, they were awesome, man. Everybody, the kids were great. There was a lot of good kid racing. There were obviously a lot of kids there that we hadn't seen before that hadn't run the series. There were some that had. Luca Markham dominated. He put on just an absolute show. Boone Self. Never met them until this weekend. I don't know if he had ever ran 1190 index, but he was crushing it. He killed him. He runnered up and won 1190, so like number one in points. I don't know what it is.
Time out. I don't know what it is, but hearing you like you enjoyed this. Okay,
I did enjoy it. I thought it was.
And it
good.
involved children.
I know. I'm telling you,
enjoyed it.
I was like, damn, okay. I thought it was great, and the cool thing was, I'll say this is that. The families, there were like a lot of groups of, like they had multiple kids and everybody was racing. But like I said, the parents were all reasonable. And I said that to them. I said that to like everybody. I'm like, hey, if you're reasonable, this is going to be great. This is awesome. Cause like we're all racing. We all want this to work out. The other thing I saw was an 1190 kid with a pull start engine. Not like, not inconsistent. I'm talking about she won 1190. With a pull start engine almost.
Hell yeah. I love
my 1190, my pull start engine wouldn't go 1450s, okay? I just want to be like
There wasn't one. Holy shit. Speaking of that, there was one at so they had juniors at the bike races.
Oh, okay. Smart.
Yeah. But there was a kid there. I can't remember his name, but he was running like, it was a me, okay?
Yeah.
It was 15-year-old, 16-year-old Tyler.
Sure.
I mean, he came up to me and he's like, you got some door cars? I said, I didn't know. I just met the kid. And he's like, I was like, yeah, I got some door cars. He's like, I've been wanting to drive something on 4 wheels. And I'm like, I mean, shit, my shit's all crashed right now. But like when we get a rocking, bud, like, I mean, you talking to the wrong homie.
Sure.
I mean,
yeah.
But this kid was like running, I mean, he was riding 2 other people's bikes in 6 classes. Okay. And then he had this kid, I don't know if it was a cousin, brother, sister, family member, friend, I don't know. Full start though, 1270s.
I love it.
And was doing that. Now we do have to have a little talk because I'm pretty sure he kicked her out of the beams once or twice.
Oh,
like
okay.
Full on hit the tree for us. So we're gonna have that.
We didn't have any of that. There were no parents touched the junior after it pre-stage.
Yeah, and I'm almost good with after the pre-stage thing. Okay, this is US 60. I ain't going to kick you out for staging your kid so he can have a chance to win. Sure. But when you're hitting the tree for him,
incredible. We didn't have any of that. It was good, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was like, this is how it's supposed to be. The race. We had one issue where the tree did the thing and it legged out, and like. It was what it was. We fixed it.
Yeah,
we ran. It was what it is. But Overall, like I said, I was and I told the junior parents, I was like, hey, thank y'all. I gave them a huge round of applause because I was like, we made it through and I didn't have to MF anybody here. So thank you guys.
Chris, speaking of timing systems, let's have this talk real quick.
Okay.
Which my guys and I'm sure our Verge guys, like,
Sure.
they were great about everything. They just are. But you know what it would be like if that issue happened, at the Million. Well, I've seen it. Okay.
Yeah.
It gave me anxiety and like almost a stroke from watching
1,000%.
it, and it's not mine. Those guys are so hard on that shit. And now that I've learned what I've learned about timing systems, like, chill out, dog. Okay. There's not a problem.
Yeah.
There's not a problem. There is one problem. It's that all of these race cars are better than the timing system.
Dude, everything in our sport has grown. Everything in our sport has grown, except for timing systems. They grew to a certain point and then they stopped. They were like, all right, we're good here.
And I'm a big ambassador for AccuTime. Okay, like, Chris is gonna be happy about this. He's gonna be proud of me for telling all of the people listening. But like, Rusty Crawford pisses me off. Okay.
Yeah.
You pay a yearly fee for track support or
sure.
Whatever. I had an issue Friday night. 4 hours later, he finally responded. Now he has 90 something tracks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Like, and it's him and 2 other guys.
Sure.
But it's not like he could hire 10 more people that can answer these questions.
Right.
He's
exist.
the only guy that can answer these questions. So like, as much as I want to grab him by the neck and kill him, what are you going to do?
Right.
Yeah,
we're all at the mercy of those guys for sure.
Exactly. And they know that, which is a problem.
But they don't luckily, I don't think, like, Brockmeyer doesn't really treat it that way. However, they also are a known commodity. It's very similar to the weather station guy. What's that? Drag.
Oh, Don Higgins.
Yeah, it's very similar to that. He knows what he has.
Yeah, which is cool, right? You can be that way. It's awesome.
Yeah,
I don't have that. Okay, I've got the same thing 8 other people got. I got to put on my bow tie and I got to do my thing.
Same.
Okay.
Yeah, I get it.
But yes, like, and I love. Let me put something in here. Allison is totally like.
Yeah.
And she's not that way.
Yeah.
But the time system thing is a dark road I could go down because I got a lot of opinion.
And I think the whole thing to say is that racers are very hard on it and they don't understand it.
Well,
and I think
if
that's
you just
why they're
looked
hard on
at it and truly understood what can affect these things,
yeah.
Because that's the other thing too. Like, if you make them, I guarantee you, if you multiplied the accuracy of the actual sensors from A to B, you would see, like, what we see our race cars move in a day is probably the max of what a fucking system can see.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Like,
do we need it to see more than that?
The race cars are, because they're better than it.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know, man. I'm good with the 3 digits. I don't need the 4th, the 5th, and 6th, but I do appreciate that they're there.
I don't need the digits either, but I think if you like actually got it to catch them better, then you would see your race car move 6 thou to the 330 and 14 runs is now going to move 3 thou.
Yeah, it's wild.
Like, I really think the race cars are better.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's an interesting point. We did have. I think we only had one. Did we have any issue in? We did. So stage lockup, we did have one issue in the semifinal. The stage lockup didn't work, or quarterfinal.
Yeah, and
it worked. It's not that it didn't work, but they didn't get it. Go ahead.
Yeah. So this is my last rant about systems. CompuLink screws everybody because they got to trade. Stage lock's a perfect example. Okay. First problem with stage lock. AccuTime, Portatree, doesn't matter. Okay. You cannot have stage lock that locks the beam so that the system knows you're staged and locks the bulb.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you go to a track that has AccuTime, this is pointed directly at NHRA racers because I've been through this 100 times. CompuLink, when you stage and stage locks on, it locks the beam so that you're in.
Yep.
But it also locks the bulb so that you never know if you backed out or not.
Yeah, you don't even know. Right. So then you think, you're like, why'd I get turned red?
Yeah. That's trademarked or copyrighted or whatever the fuck the legal term is for it.
Yeah.
AccuTime has stage lock, but they cannot legally lock the bulb.
Okay.
So the bulb might flicker. If your car rocks or something, the bulb is going to flicker, but you stay staged.
Wow. That's kind of wild.
Yes. It is. And then Portatree, for a while, they didn't have it at all, which AccuTime didn't either for a long time.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they got it now or what, however it works, but they got to find a different way to do it because CompuLink has a trademark. Here's the other problem with stage lock. TSI, me and Brian, God, this is half the reason.
Hey, I grew
that
up
Terry-
on TSI,
yeah.
right? I get
And
it.
I did too. Hardinsburg had TSI.
Yeah.
Valley had TSI.
Yeah.
You know, but what we like TSI, you can manipulate the shit out of TSI,
Sure.
and it's like Terry Huff when I was 17, 18, and Brown was 25. Like that was max potential of hating us. Because we could run each other. Like I can remember running each other in the finals of the Door Slammers and the semis of the Door Slammers one year, and we just got that thing to start flickering and flickering and flickering and flickering. But if you sit there and don't move, it will lock.
Yeah.
Because if it sees a flicker,
Yeah.
right, long enough, it just locks.
Sure.
Well, I still have another bump to take.
Hey, you don't even know where you're at.
Right?
Yeah.
So that that bump or two, there is a 1 to 2 bump.
Sure.
Depending on how you bump,
Sure.
variation where you can stage for stage lock to grab it. So you can move a half inch at least, depending on how well you stage. But you could be staged a half inch different and not know it.
And then wonder why you're 30
and then
up front.
Right. And wonder why you're 30 and 3 fast or
Yeah.
30 red and 3 slow. And you're bringing me slips all because of stage lock. Lucas Walker and I went through this. Actually, he knew. Like, it was awesome. Because I accidentally, one of the first years we were at St. Louis, it was test and tune day, and I hadn't changed it. He makes a run, comes back, makes another one. And I was looking at the runs, and I was like, oh, shit, stage lock. And I went over to turn it off, and he said, he texted me, hey, I think you got stage lock on.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, foot breaking.
Man, Tyler is passionate now as a track manager. I don't know if y'all knew. He's very passionate about timing systems. Also, as racers, y'all got to chill out. That's basically what he meant. I don't know if y'all heard that at the beginning of his rant, but y'all got to chill out.
There's not the problems, right? Like, I'm not I'm telling you, race cars are better than they are, but that's like, there is no problems. Okay,
Sure.
If you see a track fighting that you're having bad runs, it's the sun or it's the lights or it is not. You cannot screw the system up.
Yeah,
they're bolted down.
Yeah, they're bolted into DOS computers as well, so you can't be hacked either. All right, well, back to what I was talking about. The Verge. Now I forgot where I was. Verge, shout out to the winners. Shout out to the junior parents. They were great. The winners, like I said, Luca Markham hammered them in 450 and 790. We had TJ Tyndall, Trenton. He got to run the little funny car on Sunday. I thought that was awesome. I thought that was really cool. And then, like I said, Boone Self.
We don't run stage lock at Verge, by the way. Sorry.
We don't run stage lock. No, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That was the whole ordeal with that. And then, obviously, the cool thing was we had a lot of bracket racers run the 450s. The bracket racer won 450 on Sunday. Richard Taylor. Richard Taylor won.
Champ's having a baby. I just got that text from the Facebook post.
What happened?
I'm sorry. I just saw Champ and Taylor having a baby.
Right, well, we'll talk about that shortly.
Wild. Sorry.
Shout out to Champ. Shout out to Champ's performance.
Awesome. Go ahead.
Yeah, so Richard Taylor won 450 on Sunday. Bones, shout out to Bones, who won the combo on Saturday. We did our first combo. I'm sorry, he runnered up to Cody Wiggins. Cody Wiggins won our first combo. It was really cool to see a door car versus dragster with the tree and everything. It was really neat. I enjoyed that. I thought that was a way better way for us to do it, break it up a little bit than the points race on Sunday. A lot of cool. I felt bad for Ellsworth, man. Shout out to Eric if he's watching. I feel bad. My guy broke his motor, made a good lap, and grenaded that thing. They did a lot of work. There was a lot of updates to a lot of cars that we saw last year that were making good runs this year. It was so tight, though. I mean, Corey Galitti goes out there, goes 450 flat, 158. His first pull off the trailer, not off the trailer, but his first pull qualifying. And then like 3 more people go 450. Just like unbelievable. It was really, really great race. I thought it was good. The track was good. Wish we would have had more people, right? Obviously, it's our first time in South Georgia. I will say that to the 4 flat guys. All y'all talk all this noise about going fast. Y'all can do it. I can go for it. We didn't see it. Robert May crushed it, and he went 4 flat. Larry Strickland was there. I don't think.
Thrift.
Bruce
Thrift went like 382 or something.
Yeah, and then he broke, though, unfortunately.
Damn it.
Yeah, he broke. But yeah, man. So we hope to, obviously, the next race is St. Louis.
I mean, I know we were way out there for those guys, but they yeah.
We were way out.
I'm there with all
I would
of
love
them,
to know that if you are a racer. Obviously, Jason or Joe told us above that his car's at the chassis shop, so I'll let that one slide. I know how chassis builders are, but like if there was cars, if a 450 car goes down the racetrack at London this weekend, or a 470 car, and you weren't at South Georgia last week, I just love to know. I want to know why, so that we can do better. Obviously, I'm not a part of the promo. I'm just there to help and I'm support, but I would love to know why. Also, we did pairing at the bottom of the staging lanes, which was awesome. That was great. I think that was the first time that we really felt like, hey, all the pairs are here. Like, it was easier than it had been. I felt like me and Brian and Jeb and obviously shout out to Don O'Neill, who wore his voice out all weekend. Don was on it. Don did a great job too. I didn't have to yell at him or anything. Don did a great job.
Eric said he would have his motor apart by lunchtime tomorrow.
Yeah, I know he would. Yeah, he stays on top of it. But yeah, Verge Quick Outlaw series was great this weekend. If you guys haven't checked it out, Jeb, I'm sure, is working on points. We'll have that out very soon. We took that off of Tyler's plate because we knew that was overwhelming Tyler. So we got Jeb on that, so we'll have points out very soon. But yeah, man, shout out to Richard Taylor and Logan Jameson getting the runner-up. And then Anthony Jones, who I called Andrew for like 6 months. No one ever corrected me. But Anthony Jones, I apologize, Anthony. They were calling him Andrew every time too, making fun of him. So Anthony Jones won, and he beat Chris Smith in the 450, or in the 470 finals. So it was good though, man. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, the weather was perfect. You couldn't ask for anything better. South Georgia as a whole, I think, was down. They didn't really have that many Super Pro cars, and they didn't have
a phone call about that today from an NHRA representative.
About us talking about it, or about just
no, about the car count at South Georgia for.
Yeah, their Super Pros way down, and their 650 had like 4 cars total. I don't even know if they had any on Sunday. I know Saturday they had 4. I don't know if they had any on Sunday. So, but yeah, that was that. Last headline here: safety equipment. Sad news, obviously. And I want to make sure I get this right. Amanda Albritton suffered a wreck at State Capitol, and I know that Cody and team, the Drag Racers Benevolent Fund, Cody donated some money there as well, donated the invitation races on that behalf to support that. Obviously tough situation, right? I don't know all the details, so I won't go into that. But hopefully, she'll be better. Hopefully it all works out as it does in medicine. But I think the big thing about safety equipment that I just want to call out, again, obviously hindsight's always 20/20 where all your safety equipment. The conversation me and Tyler had at the beginning of the call is I just don't think we should pick and choose what safety equipment, either enforce it. If at 630, I do think like 630 door cars aren't going to wear all the equipment. There's not.
No, I don't even listen.
You know what I'm saying? My point is this. My whole point is this: is that just either you're going to wear it, you're going to wear, and not that she did, right? Obviously, maybe they don't. She probably had all her other stuff on, didn't have arm restraints on, and she's never worn them, right? And never had it. I just think, like I said, as racetracks,
and they could be long too. Like I know I wear arm restraints, but I know damn good and well that I can get my hands on.
Sure. I never could get mine out, but
well, exactly. And I can very easily go and tighten mine up.
Sure.
Sure. But it's reaching things or whatever. It's just me, and I'm not saying that's right or wrong. It's
not about that. Yeah, it's just like
I'm with you. If you're gonna wear it, wear all of it or don't. You know, whatever. Do it to an extent.
Yeah.
But something that came from that, not necessarily like nothing that might have even caused injuries. I don't know. I think here's what scares me. I've never gotten in a race car, whether it's with shorts and a jacket and a helmet, which I've done, or everything they can possibly put on me, and felt any safer or less safe, other than when they gave me a
I think that's a fair 1,000%.
But a racetrack, like I am a nervous wreck all the time about our fire extinguishers where we need them to be. Like we're having some fast ass cars this year, and like we have a hospital and a emergency helicopter within a half a mile of us. Okay, we might not have an ambulance on site every week, but I have literally within a half a mile with nothing else to do because they know what we're doing and what like they just don't have anything else to do. I have both of those very close.
That's good.
But it's you just never know, right? We had a car, ready to take flight, get over the wall, and
nothing happened. Not a scratch on the person, right?
Right, not a scratch on him, and but even like I've marked, Chris marked the walls where all the fire extinguishers are, but you're still kind of like looking for them because of in the moment what you're doing. And I think it matters still 10 times more that racetracks have what they need to respond to it, because my 5-layer jacket is, good for 5 seconds, dog. Like if I'm stuck, I need
Right.
you to help me. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
And there's just a lot of things with that. The arm restraint thing, I can name probably 200 people that wear them like I do.
Yeah.
And we've had 5 incidents in 25 years,
Sure.
like, but how many times does a racetrack not have what they need? And not that it ever causes more problems, but it doesn't help the situation.
No, I think that's a fair point. Is like, how do we make? Obviously, racing is inherently dangerous in general. So I want that to be known as like, obviously not anyone's fault. It just, it's inherently dangerous. And growing up, my dad was big on. I mean, I obviously wore all my safety equipment forever. I've never been in a 610 door car and not worn all my stuff. So, but I agree with you. I don't know that I feel safer with it or without it, but racetracks, we used to race at Kilcare, and I watched someone lose a limb because of the guardrails. Obviously, guardrails were super dangerous. That was my dad's biggest thing. I think, when he designed the mold to do the walls and safety walls and all that stuff, it wasn't because he knew that, but when he talked to the racetracks, obviously, and did this, he was like, this is what they want to do. This is how it should look. His push to racetracks is that, like, hey, like, this is safer. So the first thing he does when he takes over a racetrack, he put a wall on it. And like, I agree. It's, there's things like that. It's like, how can the track be prepared for certain situations?
I think there could definitely be, I think what a racetrack can do, which here's the other problem, right? Like, we're racers. We go to these racetracks and we don't think about that.
Right. I'm not,
So it's a full circle deal. Like, I can just, I could choose to go to racetracks that have the right stuff.
Sure,
or I can choose
sure.
not to, blah, blah, blah. Here's the thing, as a racer and in my position, right? Like, I'm still like, I call it a common sense thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Guy ain't going down the racetrack in a t-shirt and shorts going 480s. Not letting it happen. Now, will I let him go 690s? Yes. I don't really care.
Sure.
Like, that's a common sense thing to me. Okay. Now, should he still have it technically for somebody's rule book that I don't follow because I'm not sanctioned?
Right.
Sure. But that's just common sense. Okay. That's kind of how I look at it. Now, to me, they shouldn't tell him, I sign a waiver. Okay.
Yeah.
This should all be what I.
So you think it's dictated by the personal?
I think this should 100% be, here is the guidelines of what you should have to go this fast. If I sign the waiver and I don't have it, that's on me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go anywhere and not have it. So I agree. That's fair. I'm just, that's my personal thing. I'm not.
And that's me. Listen, I'll put it all. I put it all on when I have to.
Yeah.
I put most of it on anyways. And sometimes when it's 95 degrees and I'm going 680s, I put shorts on. I'm on it. Okay. Like, it's awesome. Actually, I saved myself from crashing somebody else's race car because I had shorts on. It was leaking brake fluid from the master cylinder, and it was painting my legs. Yeah, and the only reason I knew is because I could feel it on my legs coming through the firewall.
Anyways, I don't think we're going to use that as an example. Yeah, we're not using that as a prime example.
Definitely not the dumbest thing I've done either.
Yeah.
But, that's just, I don't know. I feel like here's your guidelines for what you should do. Enough. You want to, you don't. You signed it, don't matter. And I do believe that racetrack safety and what racetracks do matters more.
Sure. Well, with all that to be said, like I said, I think it's all racers are preferential and they're going to do what they're going to do just because they're race car drivers. That's how it always is. But Amanda,
Don is the guy to act like.
Yeah, Don gets it though, 100%.
He does.
Don, I'm
like
with that.
Me and Don, when I was racing with him, helping him and stuff like.
Yeah, I'm on the same boat, Don.
Yeah, that's true, and I do. Like, I don't. As I get older, obviously, I do more.
Sure.
Like, when I was 18, I was like, I'm going out here in shorts because it's kind of cool. And now it's like, it's not that, right? Like, I'm not doing that all the time. But
well, yeah, man, our thoughts are with Amanda as well. And like I said, if you can, Drag Racers Benevolent Fund, feel free to donate. I know they got a meal train as well going on to help them out. Obviously, severe situation, terrible. And I hope they get through that. And, like I said, donate if you can, help a racer out. So, all right. Those are the headlines for the last 2 weeks, I think, that I have noted. So, go ahead.
Me and you both just actually got a message about it, and I won't say who it's from or anything, but that's not the first time that I heard this name involved with it. So somebody that's been a part of TB promotions and a benefit to the sport, no matter what you think. Brandon Mass, I heard he had
yeah.
a pretty big part in helping that situation down there. And when it comes to somebody who cares about safety, but also, you know, an event and somebody who's just passionate about what he does, Brandon.
1,000, and there's not a ton of those. They're less and less
It's
because
gonna
of
jump
racers.
in, right?
Yeah, man, that are willing to do that. So shout out to Brandon, and glad they were able to do that. All right, on to nicer, you know, more fun things, I guess. Combo of the week. What do you got for us this week, there, Tebow?
Oh, let's see. I got to get into my Rolodex here. Got to get into it. No, me and Joey were talking today. He's spending a bunch of money on his comp car this week, so
We love that.
he's pumped up. Hikana altered.
Okay.
Hikana altered.
Okay.
4-cylinder. I don't know a ton about the motor. Like I know they run a lot of Honda stuff.
Okay, so it's 4-cylinder stuff.
Yeah, it is 4-cylinder. Matt Forbes is running it now. He has Rich Prizer's old
He's
car.
got a bad hot rod.
Yeah, like, and it took him a minute to get it, and he's been 75 under. Josh Lee had one that hauled ass too, but it's a 4-cylinder that, and they can run like, I mean, these are featherweight cars.
Yeah,
but I can't remember. I mean, they're 8-second cars.
At least,
you know, 4-cylinder Honda. You know, these are not castrated 4-cylinder.
Pretty cool hot rod. We'd love to get talk to Matt Forbes about that this year and about his wild years and all of the classes he's run, especially with comp. I think he's thoroughly enjoying Comp Eliminator. So I'd love to chat with him about that. Hikano altered is the combo of the week. All right, we're not going to take too much time, but we're going to spend the next 10 minutes or so talking about why GT combos are making super stock cool again.
They've done a lot of things with GT. It's just a badass.
I say GT meaning let's call it factory GT is really what I should say. But also some of those factory motors go in as GT classes depending on where they land. So
technically,
So let's call them
they're
factory
motors, but they're factory.
Exactly.
No, so I was thinking about it the other night. Me and Dad were talking. Factory GTC is the class that I'm running with the Camaro.
Yep.
And at Belle Rose, you know, Heffler was there with his 55. Now this is something I gotta pat Jeff Taylor on the back a little bit.
Sure. We love giving Jeff props.
He begged me to do this, and I didn't know about it because I didn't want to go LS. Sure. I never had LS. Didn't know if that's what I wanted to do. And he talks me into it. Well, we end up selling, between the two of us, we end up selling like 15 of these motors. I mean, like, they're so badass.
Yeah.
But there's a 55 Chevy.
Badass. Patina, all of it.
Yeah. There's an 88 Camaro.
Yep.
There's obviously new Cobalts. There's 70 Corvettes. You know, there is cars from literally a 55 Chevy to a brand new B&B Cobalt that got the same motor in them.
Yep.
And there's everything in between. People are building these things, and then there's the Dodges and the Fords, and you know, Doug Duell's got a fucking 68 Cuda with a new Hemi in it and running it. It's just you can take, like, factory GT is when we think about ways to get new people into this and what's cool. First of all, LS is like the thing for all the kids, right? Like kids that just like cars.
Yeah.
And you take that idea. It's something they can understand, and they can pick any General Motors car that they want to put it in. If they're 4 people, they can take these, you know, Cobra Jet motors, whatever the fuck all them things are, and put it in any Ford car they want to put it in. And the same with the Dodges, Chrysler stuff. And, like, to me, that is an incredible way to get new, you know, younger faces into this sport because of the, you know, the diversity of the class. It's amazing.
Yeah, I think
it's awesome to see.
You look at this is the 55, obviously, of Charlotte Heffler's. Just a bad hot rod. I just don't think people understand how cool. You guys also, I mean, you delivered.
Jim Grossi's got the
that's
coolest
what I was going to say.
You,
I'm gonna pull that one up. Jim Grossi's here because I think you delivered that one.
I think we ended up doing that.
Right, the orange car.
It was Dickie O's car. It came from Bowling Green. Went straight to Mandela.
Okay, very cool, very cool. Yeah, I think that's just a pretty cool thing in general. Just like, oh, this is sick. And I'm in the same boat. Let me screen. Oh, that's not what we want. Sorry.
You did it with a Sunfire. You know.
Yeah, I did it exactly same deal. I had a Sunfire and super cool combo. I think like you're saying, it's a learning curve. I'm trying to get this picture in here. I don't know why this isn't working right now. Sorry, give me 1 second. Let's see if this. There it is.
Curve.
There's Jim Grossie's Corvette.
And he's been 860 with it or some shit.
Yeah, and the indexes are achievable. You can also supposedly buy the crate motor from Jegs, like the 396 or the 427 or a 376 maybe. You can buy them from Jegs and they're fast. Like it's not like it's like a hard. It's more. I think the big thing is also, do you know how hard it is to find heads that have been unmolested? Like, and then
for those things?
For the older stuff I'm saying. Like, so for these older combos, I have a 66 Chevelle. My 66 Chevelle is going to be 60 years old next. That is so old to have a car you know what I'm saying, and be a race car. So like, I think it's a cool way to expand and continue to expand the classes. I like the factory GT stuff too. I think it's an interesting way to, I think there's a lot of neat looking operations too that they're doing. I think, a lot of it started too when they started to run the modified stuff like SB2s and people were starting to do, they're like, oh, there's some other combos we can start to throw in here. Right. And then the Copo came out.
Like, now, the braking shit. And then the Copo stuff came out and it's like, you can go fast without braking shit. And then that was my reason, right? Like I started running the LS7. Right. And then Jeff's like, Jeff gave me a deal, right? Like this is my first engine deal, you know. And Jeff's like, I'm gonna sell you for $2,500 off. Sweet, hell yeah, dog, sign me up. Yeah. And so we did that, and he's like, sell these things, and it was just so good. It wasn't.
That's the other thing too. Is like they are so good when you get the right combo and like the thing. Like, man,
I had a dragster at the 500 grander, the last SFG 500, and I had my super stocker. In the first 2 days, my super stocker moved less than my dragster. My dragster was not bad. I semi'd the 50 grander that day.
Yeah. Like, think about that, guy. I mean, and I think that's so Jeremiah, this is a great point too. I'm a bracket racer. What does GT stand for? It doesn't matter what the letters stand for, dog. It stands for Gran Turismo or something, right? I don't actually.
Yeah, it was in.
It's Grand Touring. It stands for Grand Touring, but yes.
Yeah. So basically, what GT is for Jeremiah is you have super stock, traditional super stock. Well, Ian automatic, okay? Yep. So PJ has a 66 Chevelle with a 66 283 in it that it came with, and it came in that car, okay? Yep. His motor came in his car.
Combo from carb to pan came in that car at that time. Yeah,
that engine option came in that car option, not necessarily. It's not matching or anything. You don't have to be that. But so GT, you can take an Oldsmobile Achieva or a Pontiac Grand Am and stick his 66 283 in it if you want, or you can stick my 2012 Copo 427, LS7. Yep. You can take, a Tuneport 350 out of a 90 Camaro and put in it. You can put any GM produced motor.
Yeah. So that's the other cool thing is that it still has to go with the body builder, right? So GM, Ford, or Dodge has the same manufacturer. So I think the other thing too is like, what we haven't seen a lot of is like FGTC Fords yet, but I think there's a few.
They're like higher. Most of them are higher.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So I think you're going to start to see them, however, more. I think you're going to we're going to start to see some. I think Matt Dattis' first one that he drove was that, right? That silver. That was an FGT.
I think it was FGT. It was a Fox body with some kind of. It was Greg Sullivan's car, and then the 9,500 RPM guy. Yeah. And Jimmy Ronzello in Michigan. They've got a couple. Yep. I think Rusty Hall did one.
I think actually isn't Heffler's his white Mustang FGT?
It can be, but
he runs an FSS or something.
And here's the goofy ass parts about NHRA and GT. So they made a rule a few years ago where if your car came with that engine combo, you can't run GT, right? You've got to stay in super stock. You can run GT with your car. Yeah. You used to be able to, right? Like it fit somewhere. Yeah. But what those guys can do, right? Like that's a 2023. He can just run. He can claim it a 21 or 22 because the body's the same. The body's the same. Yeah. That combination. Yep. And he can run it. It's kind of.
Which I think it's expanded the class. Look, as we all know, and everybody will tell you this: super stock was incredibly expensive to run. I get it, but now they've expanded it. You can do it for reasonable. I mean, look at me. I'm doing it reasonably. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You're not going to go to Indy. Who cares? Yeah. Okay. I wish I lived 25,000 miles from Indianapolis. I didn't have to go because it's the most heartbreaking, worst weekend of your entire life. unless you win the race. Okay.
Right.
You come home and you wonder if you've done anything with your life and if it has any meaning to it. And you debate every bridge you drive over, just driving off of it. Okay. That's what Indy is. So just don't even go. See, this is great. Build you an FGT 40 under. Bam.
Yeah. It's a great combination. I really enjoyed it. Figuring out fuel injection's fun. So yeah, I think that's the cool thing, man. So if you guys are thinking about it and you're like, oh, I don't know what everybody loves super stock, whether y'all can say you don't, everybody does.
Yeah.
Everybody loves high winding, everybody does. But now, man, like I said, there are some cars out there that are
they don't like tall, beautiful blondes.
bin line.
Bin
line. But yeah, man, we're I think that's the cool thing about super stock. Me and you have talked a lot about it. I would love to find a combination that works for me to run like even we talked about this. Fletcher, his Camaro now runs an FGTH, and it's just like incredible.
69 Camaros, Himikutas, third gen mullet machines,
yeah, man.
55 Chevys, Corvettes. I've seen Sunfires.
Doug Duel's Cool Fish. I didn't have the picture pulled up. I apologize. Doug Duel's Cool Fish. Look it up. It's the hottest hot rod in super stock right now. Like,
and I outran him.
He did. Tyler Bohannon. That's class winner. That's
Dude,
FGTC class winner, dog.
When's the last time you saw a 68 Cuda and an 88 Camaro running the class final?
Never. It's never happened ever.
I don't think so.
No, I'm serious because Cuda's only run.
Well, you can run. There is a couple other options.
I understand there is other options. I'm saying they don't run those options.
Yeah, and not
Hemi only.
There's nothing else where they fit with an 88 Camaro except factory GT.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's just a really cool. Y'all got to check it out, man. If you haven't, like I said, the factory
Bo's
GT
got a new
stuff.
Cobra Jet too. I forgot about that.
Oh, I can't wait. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah, it's FGT-K or something, but it's sweet.
With the supercharger on?
No, it's a 302. That's
it's the
like
boss.
low.
Yeah. Okay. It's pretty nick. Pretty sick. Well, we talked a lot, man. We had a lot of catching up to do. Obviously, here on the BE00TAKE00 show, we're gonna do it all again next week. I think looking ahead, obviously you're back to work this week. I think you got the crew and everything going, and then we've got Little Bucks coming up soon at US 60, which we're excited about.
I'm off this week. They want me to go racing.
Oh, you're off this week, so he's got to put some cars together.
I got Thursday. Oh shit, we got 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's our last point here. TB Promotions is our last point of the night here.
Folk Race Cars built me a blue race car.
Folk Race Cars is the giveaway car, the Twin 50s. That'll be in 3 weeks, but today the 250K opened for pre-entry. If you guys haven't seen Brian post, which is impossible, I believe, because he is one of the best at it. Pre-entry's open. RaceDerbyCity.com. I believe we had over 350 already or something like that. Crazy. We're only taking 425.
We're under 70 spots left. I know.
Yeah. So y'all need to get in. It's been 8 hours. Not even. Yeah, it's been 8 hours. So pre-entry is open. RaceDerbyCity.com. I'm excited for the Twin 50s first, and then we have Verge the week after, and then I'm not going to Michigan this year, but
oh yeah, we hired a replacement for you already. I think.
Who'd we get?
We're talking about we might have to call in the big dogs, the big leagues, Donald.
Oh,
maybe.
Hey, honestly, that's a great call.
That's my call.
I love that. That's a great
few
call.
Options out there. Don, you're in the conversation.
I love that. That's a great.
You're
call.
On the roster.
Don, if you could send your audition video,
if you're available,
preferably not your casting couch audition, but the regular audition, that would be awesome. Yeah, that works. A lot of racing getting ready to happen, man. We're getting ready to get in the thick of it. Obviously, Indy next weekend as well for the divisional. So everything is coming together. We got a lot to talk about as the year goes. Huh?
You go?
Yeah, I'm going.
Okay.
My super stalker still runs, so I'm going.
Bye God. Let's just, since Vegas is over, we can also say sorry to keep this going. Justin Lamb runner up again. So
that's why I skipped over it. That's why I skipped over
the point that it don't matter what the hell I do because they're gonna go out there and bust somebody's ass.
Yeah, we're going to talk about points next week as we go into Indy and see kind of some dark horses as they start divisionals. So we'll talk all about it next week here, man, on the BE00TAKE00 show. I am PJ North. This is Tyler Bohannon. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, follow us, all of those things. Until next week, guys, when we